This is a podcast about knitting, sewing and creating your own handmade wardrobe. If you're new, great to see you. If you're returning, thank you very much. Today we're talking whips, mostly knitting. I know I promised that I would cut out another ebony tea, but it's just not happened this week. So as you know, last week was my birthday and I had lots of yarny gifts, but I had a few extras come along to me this week, so that's really exciting. So I've got lots of stash to show you, and I cast on quite a lot this week, so I will start with whips. Nothing finished this week, sadly. I was hoping I was going to get some socks finished, but it didn't happen. If you can hear the washing machine in the background, I'm really sorry. So whips wise, I am still working slowly on my Rocquaine. I was very nearly on my second sleeve for my Rocquaine, which is, you know, a bit of improvement since last I showed you. And I was watching the royal wedding, which was really, really gorgeous. I didn't watch it at the time because I was doing something during the day, but we caught up in the evening. And so while doing that, I finished off the ribbing of one sleeve and I'd started another, but this is about 10 o'clock at night, and I thought I was doing really well, and then I woke up the next morning, continued working on it, and realised I'd been knitting it inside out. I picked up the stitches the wrong way. I'd done everything you could possibly have done. So, yeah, not so good. So here it is anyway. So yes, it looks a little different. You would have seen it sans sleeve, so it looks something like that last time. And now it has one whole sleeve, which is lovely. I decided not to do the rig and furrow bit at the bottom of the sleeve because I think it's too fussy. So I did the top one, and then it's just stocking it all the way down to the ribbing. I did a super stretchy bind off on the ribbing simply because I didn't do that on my fern and feather sleeves. I did do it on my hem, and I find it slightly uncomfortable because I knit really tight, so the bind off is really tight. So I decided, nope, this time it's going to be super stretchy, even if it flares a bit. Nobody's going to know when I'm wearing it. So yes, this sleeve. I had a bit more to do than I realised on the back last time I left it with you, because I didn't think about the back being higher than the front. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So I had a little bit more pattern to finish before I could pull off for the neckline, bind off the neckline, and then you pick up the neckline, you literally knit 2 rows. So yeah, I'm pleased with it so far. I think my sleeves are going to be quite long. I stopped short of the 17.5 inches because normally sleeves are too short for me, but I did try this on and it hits me sort of at my fingers, which I don't mind because I quite like long sleeves. But I think the fact that it's sort of off your shoulder, drop shoulder I should say, makes a difference. So yeah, I'm really ready to finish. I'm going to pick the sleeve stitches back up today, and hopefully that should just be a mindless project that I can just finish off, and then I've just got to pick up the provisional cast on for the ribbing on that one. I should also say what I'm wearing. I always forget that bit. I'm going to say it now. So I am wearing my Melilo from Deer and Doe in a cotton, I don't even think it's really a lawn, it's just a sort of very lightweight cotton. It's a John Caldwell one that I got when I was on the Minerva Crafts blogger team. So they used to send me fabric and I used to make stuff within a month. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I really love this shirt, and actually it was really, really loud for me, and I wasn't sure about my placement here with my spots and whatever of red, but I really like it and I wear it more than I thought I would, even though it's ridiculously loud. It's a really good summer shirt, and I can sort of tone it down with a cardigan. So I really like this. I'll talk Me Made May a little bit later on. So back to whips. Sorry, interjection, tangent. Whips wise, that's probably the only one you've seen apart from my Hermione's Everyday Socks. And you will have seen these last time, and I had not started the I hadn't started the heel. I have now started the heel, but I've decided to do 2 colours and I'm not sure how I feel about it, if I'm honest. So here it is. So I said that I was going to do this juniper colour of West Yorkshire Spinners with the spearmint colour of West Yorkshire Spinners. I am not enjoying doing a heel on the 9-inch circulars at all. I'm finding it really tricky, and in fact I might, if I've got the same size, I think I have, possibly put it on a different needle. So yeah, I've started doing the Partridge Heel, which is slip stitches, but you have 4 rows, so you have your first row, I think you do a slip one, knit one, and then on your 3rd row you do a knit one, slip one. So it looks a bit cross-hatched rather than just straight lines, which is really pretty actually. I quite like it. I don't know that you'll see it. I think I was doing it wrong on the first 2 rows anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure about the colours together, which is making me want to rip it out and just do blue. So if you've got any thoughts on that, let me know, because I just don't know if they go together, and I think I could probably find a better combination. That's that mini from... No, I think it just needs to be spearmint, to be honest. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because it's bugging me and I want to finish it, but I want to actually wear them and I want to like them. So not much to say on those other than I'm on the heel. Then I've got a few new cast-ons. Not anything massive, because I really want to finish my Rocquaine before I pick up any more garments, although I have got some dream knitting at the end. The Brackett hat from Laine magazine. This is West Yorkshire Spinners, I knew I was going to forget what it's called. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners The Croft, which I think is a worsted weight, and this is the Dalsata colourway, which is really pretty. I got this at Alternate Universe. I've been eyeing this skein of yarn forever, and I just needed a mindless because my Rocquaine, I was on the complicated bit and I was getting a little bit bored. So I needed a mindless project. So I cast this on a couple of days ago, and I've got a bit of ribbing. It's not very exciting. It's just normal knit one, purl one, rib. It's a start. And it's a cable project as well, which is good because I haven't had a cable project for ages. And yeah, not much to say on that really. It's a bit of ribbing. I've got more to do. And then the last thing I'm going to show you today, because I haven't done any work on my Magnolia socks, although that's technically not true. I attempted to do the first 3 rows and I don't know what I did, but I didn't like it. And knitting 3 together on 4-ply is really hard, even doing magic loop. So I've ripped back the 3 rows that I did and I've got back to ribbing again, so it's not very exciting to show you, but I have been working on it. I just have ripped out what I worked on. Bit rubbish, sorry about that. Anyway, the next one is a much more luxurious project, which I'm pleased about because I need a bit of luxury right now. Trying to untangle it would be good. Okay, so this is the start of a Kobuk hat. It looks ginormous. And then I worked out why it might look ginormous is that I'm knitting on 4s and not 3.5s for the ribbing. But I'm just going to go with it because I'm a bit scared of ripping this out, because it is a Stranding Mohair project, which I've never done before. So I really had a plan. To increase my skills this year. So that meant learning things like cables, learning things like lace, although I had done a little bit of lace, but more complicated lace, cables, socks, those sorts of things. So things that I'd never attempted before. Brioche is another one I'd like to try. Bit scared, but we'll give it a go. So it's all about skill improvement this year, and one of the things I wanted to try was Stranding Mohair because I've never tried it, but oh my gosh, it's so luxurious. So this is a giant bit of twisted rib. Again, not very exciting. It's that way around. So that's the twisted rib. And this is Moleview yarns I got at EYF. So this is their Welsh Mule DK. Welsh Mule DK, and they're Veld Lace, and they're both dyed with madder, so they're both naturally dyed. And oh my gosh, this Veld Lace is amazing. There's 600 metres on it. 600 metres! So I'm hoping this will do for another project, because I've got a shawl I quite like the look of called Audra, and it uses lace in the lace part, so I think that would be beautiful. It is so soft, oh my gosh, so soft, which is why I don't want to rip it out, because I'm enjoying it. And like I said, it's just twisted rib at the moment. This is the most cute Progress Keeper ever, which I got from Giddy. Well, actually I didn't get from Giddy Yarns. My lovely friend Emma bought it as part of my birthday present. How cute is that? Little alpaca. Anyway, back to this. This is the Kobuk hat by Caitlin Hunter. So I'm a bit nervous about this one. I attempted the bobbles and I did them, so that was another skill that I learnt, was bobbles. So I practiced the bobbles and I think I can do them. I'm just a little bit scared that I'm going to get the stuff tangled because I'm using 2 strands together. Although it's not feeling as difficult as I thought it would. I thought it would be much trickier to hold them together, but they kind of just eventually ply together and then it kind of works. But I don't want to rip it out. I'm hoping if I took it down, I think, excuse me, just sticking a bit of ribbing on my head, I think it'll be okay. I've got quite a big head. I did the larger size. Which is the 24 inch, but the last 2 hats I've knit have been really tight on me and I just didn't want to risk having, excuse me, all fluffy now. I didn't want to risk having a hat that was too small. So that is the Kobuk hat, or will be. It's just ribbing right now. So that's it for whips. It's really quick. Not really anything exciting to tell you on that, apart from a couple of cast-ons. I really, really want to cast on a jumper, but I really, really want to finish my Rocquaine. So I'm trying to impose some sanctions so that I actually get that done. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was a little thank you actually to Tristan of Dragonhoard Yarn and the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, and to Deborah from Meanwhile at the Castle, who is Indigo Chickens on Instagram. They've been really positive on their podcasts and given me a shout out on their Instagrams and been really kind about what I've been doing recently. So I want to say a big thank you to you guys, because that's really, really helped me help my confidence while podcasting, which is great. So thank you so much, you guys. It's really, really means the world to me. On to Stache Enhancement. Now, I mentioned in my last podcast I was waiting for a Knitpicks order and it came and it had no customs. So people in the UK, that's really good to know, is you don't get customs charges with Knitpicks. I guess because they go to a warehouse that they use in the UK and they use their own shipping systems. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it came from where we are in Sussex. It came from Gatwick, so yeah, no customs charges, which is amazing. But the box is huge. Hang on. Okay, this was the box. Yeah, I tried to hide it from my husband. He wasn't having any of it. So I'm just going to show you, some of it was sweater quantities, so that's why it looks so ridiculous. I'm just going to go through each item rather than each, you know, group of things. I'm just going to go with what type it is, and then I've got a few hand-dyed goodies at the end. So let's start with the Wool of the Andes. They had a sale on, by the way, guys. This was about I think it's £124 with free delivery for all the stuff I got, and there was a lot of stuff. So the first thing I got was some Wool of the Andes. So I got 13 of the Dove Heather. This I had in mind for a jumper, possibly the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Yeah, so this is worsted weight, Peruvian wool, 100%, and it's 50 grams. So that is the Dove Heather. Then I also got the Gosling, and I think I got 13 skeins of this as well. They're very slightly different. As you can see, this is more taupey kind of colour. It's exactly the same. It's worsted weight 100% Peruvian wool. Then I also got the same stuff in Seraphim, which is like a pale lilac, and I really like this colour, but I haven't been able to find any jumpers sort of in the shops that are this sort of colour, and I think it would kind of suit me. It's sort of pale. I showed my mum a lilac jumper and she went, no, you look really pale, and she called it pale and interesting, I think was the word she used. She was being polite rather than saying that'll look hideous. So yes, these three I got 13 skeins of each, which should be enough for jumpers. And then I got 3 of Whirlpool of Wool of the Andes, mainly because I've seen a jumper that I like with little Dutch houses on it, and I can't remember the name, but I will put it below. And I like Gosling and Whirlpool because they were the same sort of colours that she uses. It's a yoke sweater with colourwork. It's a bottom-up yoke sweater, and the colourwork is of little sort of Amsterdam houses. It's really pretty. So I thought I'd give that a go with those 2 colours. I'm going to be chucking yarn everywhere now. I might just chuck it in the box, shall I? Just... okay. That's 3 of them down. Then, oh, and Seraphim. I had an extra one. Then I went for... I'll go for the things I got multiples of. So then I wanted to try their Stroll fingering because I'd heard really good things about it. Hey Sister Yarn podcast, Tabby's always using Stroll for various different things, and it was really, really cheap for what it was. And actually, I'm super impressed with it. So I got Stroll fingering. I got 2 of each of these. So this is Dogwood, which is such a pretty colour. I'm thinking socks. I'm not thinking... I might order some more for a sweater because it is really soft. It's 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, and it's fingering weight, and you get 231 yards per 50 grams. So I got 2 of these each for socks. So I got Dogwood. Oh, this is Dogwood Heather actually. Dogwood Heather. Then I got Dove Heather, which is the same as the worsted one I bought. And I bought Mint because I love it. Mint is perfect. And because I bought the Sock Society from Helen Stewart, I thought that it would be a good idea to have some in my stash so that then the next socks come out I can just cast on straight away. And they were super, super cheap. So 2 of each of those. Then I got 1 of these, and this is their Stroll fingering tonal. This is more like a hand dye. I don't know whether they are hand dyed, it doesn't say, but this is Cucumber. It's a little greener than I thought. I thought it would be more minty, but it's really lovely nonetheless. And there's quite a lot of it. So this is, I think this is about a tenner. It's 462 yards. It's the same 75% merino, 25% nylon superwash. It's really pretty. It definitely is tonal. It's blowing out a little bit light. It's probably about there. But it's really soft, really gorgeous, really squishy. I think that was about a tenner. So not the end of the world in terms of cost wise. But yeah, so that was most of my Knitpicks. One more. I really wanted to try, after doing my one skein shawl, which I love and I've been wearing loads, I wanted to try a gradient. I've never tried a gradient yarn before. So they had Strolls in gradients, and this one is one of those. So I bought one. This is called Beach House, and it uses a lot of colours that I wear on a... Ooh, chucking it at you. It uses a lot of the colours that I wear. So I wear a lot of blue, I wear a lot of grey. I don't wear a lot of minty green, but I have cardigans that are more this colour. So I thought that might go with lots and lots of things if I made a shawl from that. So this is the Stroll gradient in Beach House, and there's 458 yards on there, so that's enough for a one skein shawl. I've just bought the triple treat / triple threat from the Cozy Up with the Stitching Sisters, whose podcast, by the way, I adore. I love sitting and watching them all chatting together. It's really lovely, and I introduced a few friends to it, and they said it's just so nice because it's like you're in their living room or in their kitchen just chatting away with them, and they come out with some really amazing patterns. So I bought that one while it was on sale, and you can do a crescent, an asymmetric or a triangular shawl. So you get 3 in 1, which is why it's triple treat or triple threat. They alternate as to which one they want to use. But yeah, I thought this could definitely be one of those. So I might cast one of those on, although I've skeined up my Hey Sister Sweet Tooth, and I was hoping to maybe start one with that. Look how beautiful it is. You can see the green speckles in it now. Yes, anyway, moving on. So for my birthday, I managed to get a few awesome treats. One of which was a Knitpro wool winder, which I have been desperate to have. I have been doing things by hand and it's been exhausting. So this Veld Lace 600 meters was hand wound and it was exhausting, and luckily I had nothing better to do that day, but I really wanted a wool winder. So Pie Maker very kindly ordered me things that I'd sent him on Amazon and one of which was the Knitpro wool winder. I really like it. I don't think it's too cheap for the money. Some of the reviews were sort of saying, oh, it's a bit cheap, it's a bit plasticky. I don't find that. I think it's okay. I think I could have gone cheaper, but I was really finding it difficult to wind it without having it around a Swift, because I don't actually own a Swift, or I didn't own a Swift. So I was hanging it off the ironing board and then going around it constantly, and I got myself in a tangle a few times, and I had to cut some of my Nora George yarn into 3 because I just got myself so tangled with the one skein that I had. The Knitpro wool winder does manage just about to do 400 yards. As you can see, as I've just shown you with my Sweet Tooth, it does get a little bit dodgy at the end, but most of the time, as you can probably see where I've just whipped it around, but yeah, it did pretty good up until that point. It will do it, but it takes some coercion. But like I said, I was having real trouble getting it tangled, so I ordered, because I had some Amazon vouchers, I ordered myself a Chaigoo Amish Swift, because I'd seen one in the background of Skeindir's podcast. And I thought, you know, well, if Skeindir's got one, it must be the right one to use. I've seen the Umbrella Swifts. I feel like they're a faff. I don't know why. I was a bit concerned about it tangling in all the bits and me not being able to open it or it snapping, because I know how bad I am at putting things together and putting things away. Okay, so if you've never seen an Amish Swift before, they look like this. Ooh, without poking myself in the eye. What I really like about the Chaigoo one is it's really lovely, proper solid wood. It does fold down. This all just collapses. It's just held on by pegs. And you can peg it so that you have different widths of yarn. So I've been doing it on the biggest one, which is tells you lovely, in a beautiful, lovely thing there. So this was the 62 inch 155 centimetre skeins, but it goes down to a 33 inch 85 centimetre skeins. So it just turns as you go. The one thing I'm having trouble with was where to put the other end. So I've been putting it on the top of one of these. That seems to work okay. Every now and again I might have to unravel it from here, but it's pretty good. I think I would have been worse off if I'd used maybe an Umbrella Swift, so because my wool winder was annoying me. I know my husband bought it with the intention that the wool winder would be enough, but I had a feeling I might need a Swift, so I had asked for a Swift as well, so I just bought one myself. Then I have bought some more birthday shopping, so I'm still waiting for a few things. I know my Giddy yarns is coming back, which is exciting because I ordered some Giddy yarns. I ordered her self-striping. I've never had self-striping yarn before, but I'm really looking forward to receiving that. And so that's why I had to wait a little bit longer, because it had to be dyed up to order. So I ordered some Jellybeans yarn. I've never ordered from them before. It was really fast. I think I had next day delivery. It was that quick. I really like it. It's not my favourite base. It's a merino nylon 400 yards. This is the Peaches colourway. It's a little bit pinker. She was having a sale. It was a little bit pinker than I was expecting, a little bit orangier. I don't mind, it's kind of sunset colours, it's pretty. The other yarn I bought looked pretty much the same. It was a different colourway, but I might be giving that away because I think it would be something that people would really, really love. It's nice. I think it's not as soft. I mean, this is a... So this Stroll is the same content as this. This feels a little bit woollier, but I think knit up and then washed, I think it will be lovely. So this is from Jellybeans Yarns, and the colourway is Peaches. I think it will go into a shawl of some kind, maybe a one skeiner, maybe some socks. We'll see. Then like I said, I mentioned before with my really cute little llama alpaca charm that's on here. This came from my lovely friend Emma, and she knows me very, very well. We are going to be sister-in-laws soon, which is exciting. And so she bought me this, which is Giddy yarns as well. I must have sent her something with it in, and she said it was brilliant because you basically told me what you wanted. And this is her Giddy sock. So this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's 425 meters, so 464 yards, which is loads. And this just about sums me up, this colour. This is Bubblegum Unicorn Cupcake with sprinkles. It's so good. I totally would have bought this myself. So I'm really pleased, thank you Emma. Yeah, it's so cool. And this yarn is so soft and squidgy and lovely, and I don't know what I'm going to make with it because I love it too much. And that's from Giddy Yarns. And I'm definitely getting something else from her soon, so I'll let you know on the next podcast about that one. I have no plans for it. I think it's just gonna sit and be stroked for a while and squidged. Love, love, love that one. Now, the postman has come to see me today, and he dropped off a package from Germany. So I'm very sad to learn that Homespun House is moving to America, where she's from. And she's moving out of Germany because the shipping from Germany is considerably cheaper than the shipping from the US. But I have never bought from her before, and I thought, do you know what, before she goes, it's worth just buying some. Crackly. Okay, so I had to take it out of the packet because it's crackling. So this, every time I go on the website, I pick about 3 colours, and I pick the same 3 colours every single time. And I was like, she's leaving, she's got 3 skeins left. I should have bought 3 skeins, now I'm looking at it, but I thought, no, I'll be good, I'll just get 2, that should be enough for a big enough shawl. So this is Sea Story with gold stellina. It's a fingering weight. It's 75/20, 5% stellina. It's stunning. This I kept looking at, and I just kept looking at it and kept looking at it. And actually it's very similar to my beach house that I just bought, but oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. I don't know if you'll see the stellina. Oh yeah, just a bit. There's gold stellina in it. I think it would have been nicer with silver, but I like the gold nonetheless. So I've got 2 skeins of this. They are 370 meters, 407 yards each. Yeah, I'm really pleased that I bought this now. I was sort of worried that I'd spent a lot of money because she is expensive. She's probably £2 to £4 more per skein. And then you add the shipping on top. So I was sort of like, is it worth it? But I'd seen loads of people review it and say it was gorgeous. So I just wanted some of my own before I had to pay the shipping all the way from the US. So those are Sea Story, and they are from a Homespun House. And she has a really lovely podcast as well, Molly. So you should go check her out too. It's really cute. I really love it. So that's it on the yarn front. Oh, apart from. So the other thing that I was going to talk to you about is this weekend, Emma and myself, Emma of Unicorn Yarn fame, we decided that we'd give some dyeing a go, and we've never done it before, and we thought it was you know, worth a try. See how we got on. So when I did my Knitpicks order, I bought a load of Bear palette yarn, which is their 100% fingering weight Peruvian Highland wool. And we bought some minis and some, I think it's just fingering weight yarn from Yarn Undyed, and we gave it a go. So I thought I'd show you what we did. We're happy with the results. I think we definitely want to dye again, and we definitely want to give it a go a bit more long term. But yeah, we just wanted to show you our results. So this is I think this is a DK mini with stelline in it. It's a little bit strange. We decided we'd just try and do like a basic dye, so we got the kind of citric acid and stuff right, and sort of see what the process was. So we just did a plain turquoise, and it turned out very blue, which is this one, and stelline is super sparkly. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with these. They are very blue, and they almost look a little bit like maybe something you get that's acrylic-y because it's so strong and so one colour. So we were like, not the worst idea in the world. We might give it a go at over dyeing. So if you've ever over dyed something, let me know. Want to make it more tonal. Then we gave it a go where we did an indirect pour with the citric acid being added. We soaked the yarn in citric acid first. So this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one that we did, and we used coral and pinks. So it kind of looks like an extreme version of my mole view. This is done with acid dye, by the way, but it came out much more tonal. It's really pretty. So we did one skein at a time, just trying things out. Then we tried adding the citric acid at a different time to see if we could get things to stick a bit better. So this time, this one's got more streaks of pink. So we added the citric acid after. We didn't soak this one in citric acid first. We added the citric acid later. But the colours are really, really good. Then we decided we were bored of doing tonals already, and we were going to try and go for hand painted. Sort of hand painted. So what we did was we soaked in citric acid again, because I think that's the best way for us, and then we used a tray, and then we started with a I think we used 3 colours. I think we used a pink, a periwinkle, and something else. Oh, and then we mixed them. So I also used a salt shaker for speckles, and this is the result of the first one, which actually I hated when it was in the pot and love, love, love now. So this is our third attempt, I guess. Our first attempt at kind of doing it in a dish, but it's really pretty. We really, really love this one. It's kind of lavender. It's not dissimilar to the Nora George tulip that I've got, except that's on stelline, but it's very similar in colour. We didn't do that on purpose, it kind of just happened. Yeah, so here's the speckles. So it's pretty good. I actually prefer this one now it's dry and skeined up, but at the time we thought we're going to go a little darker, a little bit stronger. We're being a bit tentative, and so we dyed this one up. This is the second one that we dyed. So this is much more purple tonal. It does have speckles in, if I can find them. They are much more, oh, there's some. They are much more pronounced. There you go. And I used a lot more of them this time. So we really, really like this. So we're going to practice a little bit more, and we're going to try some more yarns out, because this Yarn Undyed one is okay, but it's quite woolly, and we want to just try some different yarns, see what it's like, and see what kind of results we can get. But we're really pleased. I mean, it didn't cost us huge amounts for the dyes and for the citric acid. The materials were probably the most expensive part, but we had so much fun. We just did this on a camping stove outside, 2 washing up bowls, one for citric acid, one for washing up stuff, washing up the yarn and letting it dry. So yeah, you can definitely give it a go. It's definitely worth trying, but I really, really love the results we got. And we were total novices. We had no clue. We'd watched a craftsy class. That's literally, but in fact, I'd watched the craftsy class and Emma'd watched bits of it and made some notes. So we're definitely going to have a little go at that again and see where it takes us, because I think it's a really fun idea. And I'd really like to, yeah, create my own yarn. Although it does mean that I have a lot more yarn building up in the house, which is okay. I've just got to find some more space for it. So sorry if the camera's in the wrong place, guys. I totally forgot that I was going to talk Me Made May. So we all know that we're in the middle of Me Made May, and so you get to wear as much or as little of your clothing. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? You get to wear as many or as least of your handmade garments or accessories or whatever in the month of May. So I've been doing okay. Not so good with the photos. So I've been trying my best, and I've been recording that on Instagram stories, just because I sort of blocked up my feed last year. So I thought I'd have a go at doing it on Instagram stories, which I'm enjoying. I will do a roundup at the end to see what I've worn and what I haven't worn. What I'm doing with that is I'm generally just leaving it on my floor and then if it's not in my wardrobe, then I've worn it, so then I know. It's not a very technical system, to be honest, but it just gives me an indication of what garments I'm wearing and what I'm surprised by and what I'm not so surprised by. Midway through, so we're the 21st, I think, today. I'm not sure when the podcast will come up, so but we're on the 21st as I'm recording. And I feel like I haven't got enough work clothes, if I'm honest. I work in and out of different schools, and so I need something that's sort of work appropriate, like shirts and black trousers are pretty much what I have to wear to be work appropriate, and a cardigan. So I definitely don't have enough shirts, and I definitely don't have enough work appropriate garments. I've been wearing loads of my driftless cardigans. I've got one in grey and I've got one in a tan bamboo jersey, which is a lot drapier than my first one. But I've been wearing lots and lots and lots of those because they're so easy to just chuck on. I don't have to think about it too much. I've definitely worn my shawl a few times since I made it. And so that and lark t-shirts seem to be my stock wardrobe. Anything grain line, to be honest. Anything grain line is amazing. So I think moving forward, I need to think about when I'm sewing, what I'm sewing, whether it's going to work in my kind of lifestyle, because a lot of the things I've got are beautiful, but they are not appropriate for my lifestyle. If I was at home all the time, which I'd love to be, but I'm not, then I definitely would be wearing all of my Me Made jeans. I'd be wearing lark t-shirts. I'd be wearing a lot more of my dresses probably, but it's just not something I've been doing. I have worn my dress I made for my Cornwall capsule last year from the Scopolos print, and so I've been wearing that I think 2 days. I didn't take a photo, annoyingly, because I was nipping off somewhere quick, but yeah, I've been wearing that one. So I was surprised by that because I'm not really a dress wearer, but it's really comfy and I definitely will wear that more. Yeah, so musing so far is that I need probably a clear out, and I need to work out what I want in my wardrobe and what's practical versus what isn't practical. I'm lucky enough to have 6 weeks off in the summer. That's sort of good and bad because it means no money in the summer, but it also means 6 weeks off where I can do what I like. So we'll definitely be looking at maybe tweaking my wardrobe again, maybe doing another capsule in that 6 weeks for something to keep me focused. Yeah, so we'll see. But that's where I am at with Me Made May. I will try better to do photos. We're coming up to May half term here in the UK, so I will have a week off then, and I will be able to get the photos done hopefully, and maybe a bit more sewing. I definitely want to make some more tops, and I definitely need to make some more cardigans. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for viewing. I hope you liked it. If you're returning, thank you again for watching. It's really great to have you. We are getting very close to that 1,000 subscribers, and I will definitely be doing a giveaway for that, including probably some rather lovely hand-dyed yarns and a few other bits and bobs. Don't forget you can find me on Instagram, which is @bbhandmadedress. Don't forget you can like and subscribe in the boxes below. Please leave me a comment whether it's sewing or knitting related, or even hand dyeing related now that we're doing that thing. Yeah, and I will see you next time.